Welcome back to Youth in Agriculture. Today we are coming to you from Isinya in Kajiado County. We are going to focus more on the best management practices for cucumber farming, as well as give you tips on how you can be able to have access to the best market available. Come with me. So here we are. The greenhouse looks amazing. The cucumbers are so presentable, such a beautiful produce to be taking to the market. And I'm looking forward, because after this we will be doing what I love most, and that is harvesting. But before that, our agronomist is going to be telling us what it has taken him, what are these best management practices that he has had to apply here, and also what are some of the challenges he has encountered and how has he been able to overcome that. Ongeri?
Oh yes, Susan, welcome to this second greenhouse. I think in the previous greenhouse where we were, you saw the crop age was a bit different from this one. It was on day 2. What you saw there in greenhouse 1, coming after about 1.5 months, this is exactly what you will see. You will see a crop which is under production, which is under harvest, as you can see here. So these are the fruits that you expect from our cucumber plant. And as you see them here, they started from the lowest part. So we have harvested about 1 month now, and we have harvested about 1 meter of the vine. So, Susan, you have asked me that you are impressed in our greenhouse. So maybe if I can highlight you and the viewers that the key number 1 is hygiene. Hygiene must apply in our farming. Why? Because diseases harbor in a greenhouse that is poorly managed. For instance, if we leave the weeds to be everywhere and compete with our plants, we will have half-fed plants because they will be out-competed by the weeds. And at the same time, the weeds will harbor the diseases and the pests. Some diseases do very well with some weeds, and some pests tend to be attracted with some weeds. So what you do clean weeding, make sure that only the plant remains as a plant in your greenhouse. So if you look around, you'll be seeing only the cucumber plants, or else everything has been weeded off and the greenhouse is very clean. The second thing is, as I told you, watering has to be done efficiently. Give it only enough. Do not give it more because you have water. Give it only enough. This crop at this stage needs more water because the fruits are enlarging. Our crop has 80% water content, so you need to give it enough water for it to bulge. But when we are starting day 1, week 1, up to around week 4, the plant takes about 0.5 liters of water per day. But this one is taking 1.2 liters of water per plant per day. So you should know how to balance these parameters. And again, as I've said, that the fertilizer balancing, you should know what your soil is able to give in terms of nutrients. We have done the soil tests. We understand our soils. We understand what it has in excess and what it has in deficiency. So what we are doing in our recipe, when we are feeding this crop, we give according to the demand of the crop. So when you look around, there are so many things that we are doing. When we come to pollination, we support the plant because it's a self-pollinated crop, and most crops are supported by the wind to do pollination. Because this house has closed the wind, so what we do at around 11 on every day, 11 a.m., we come and try to shake the plant such that the pollen in the flower falls over from the male to the female for complete pollination, such that to avoid some flowers from making the fruits. So we have a number of things we are doing that are supporting our work to look like this. Another thing is we do pruning, because when you leave leaves in excess, the crop tends to do more, to feed more the leaves than the fruits. So what we do, we leave about 70% of flowers to the plant because this is the kitchen. This is where the plant manufactures its food to give to the flower, to the fruit. So when you realize this plant going down, we have already harvested, so we don't need much of the flower, the leaves. But coming up here, when you are doing your pruning, make sure you leave the leaves which feed the adjacent fruits. So our fruits are really doing very well, and it's only that the demand of the market wants a very medium size of the cucumber fruit. Otherwise, I could be harvesting very heavy fruits. So those are the few things that maybe I can enlighten a farmer on how to look about. And again, when you look at the cleanness inside of diseases and the pests, you realize our crop is very clean. What we do, we start it right with the right chemicals and the right fertilizers. I always advise my farmers to do drenching of pesticides that help the plant to strengthen its immune system, such that if it's, you know, the biggest problem of this crop is thrips inside of insects. So what we do, there are those chemicals we drench when we are planting, such that it remains in the system of the plant. When it reaches a time, it's flowering, the thrips will be attacking the plant. So it really doesn't find it well because the disease, the pest already is in the system. We also drench chemicals against the worst diseases for this plant, which is the down mildew and the powdery. So we have the best and relevant chemicals that we drench during planting, such that we react against those diseases, such that when you will be now spraying the weekly and the routine sprays, you only do it to help those ones that were drenched during planting. So you'll see we have controlled the diseases. Not that we don't have challenges. We have been having challenges. We have challenges, but very minimal, and because most of the work of prevention, we have done it right at the beginning, week 1, week 2, and so on. So we are able to reach here, Susan.
Awesome.
Yes.
And the cleanliness, like you have said, it's perfect. Like you've really cleaned this greenhouse, and you and the people you're working with are doing quite a good job, right? So what are the other challenges? You showed me something there which you called that, you said that the crop has aborted. Maybe, can you maybe show our camera person
yes,
what that is?
Come along. Yeah, I think this is a good example. You realize that the fruits have started from this level, and when you look the fruits down here, this one has not performed. This one has not performed. This one has not performed. And I expect going lower, there has been very poor performance. But when you look in general, most of the plants have done very well. But this one has been a big problem to our farmers. We call this one as abortion of flowers. It has aborted, and so you don't expect the good yield in this plant. As I said, this plant is able to give you 8 to 12 kilograms per plant in the entire season. But one of the challenges that can make a farmer not to succeed is the problem of abortion of flowers. Now, this is a very serious challenge because most of our farmers lack information on how to solve this. So what we usually do, we train our farmers, and most of our farmers are very happy. And as you can see in our greenhouse, we are also equally happy because most of the plants have done successfully very well. So one of the big challenges that are causing this problem is irregular watering. When you don't have enough water in the greenhouse, the plant will sense that it is lacking something. So because of irregular watering, you will have, the plant will start aborting because it will realize it has no enough water. So there is no need to make more fruits because it will not be able to support. Another reason why we have this problem is lack of enough calcium in our fertilizers or in our regime. So what usually happens, we ask farmers first to do the soil test. And if it shows that the calcium is not enough in the soil, we ask them to supplement the calcium fertilizers in their regime. We also do it in the foliar, we do it in basil, where we do the top dress of calcium. We also spray the foliar that has the calcium to our plant. So the plant would have enriched the calcium, which will support the flower from avoiding the abortion. Another reason why we expect the abortion of the plant is the acidity of the soil. If the acidity is so high, you don't expect the plant to get enough nutrients from the soil, because the plant will feel that it's so very salt in the ground, so the ground captures some nutrients, the uptake is very poor, so the plant will be underfed, so it will develop the flower abortion. Another reason is extreme temperatures, either too high temperatures or too low temperatures. Maybe you are coming from very high temperatures, the crop has got used to very high temperatures. When we come to rains now, we expect the sudden fall of temperatures. So when the crop realizes that it's crossing over either from high to low or from low to high temperatures, it will experience stress. And the stress itself will cause the flower abortion. When we are working in the farm also, we are maybe weeding and spraying, then we disturb a lot the crop. We make it to develop stress. If the crop develops stress, also it will have to develop the abortion of our flowers. So we have trained our team such that we react against the causes and the challenges of our crops, such that we are able to get the best results from the area planted. Susan, I think.
Wow.
Yes.
And I think that is so much adequate information, and I know our viewers are learning quite a lot today. Nobody likes stress, so don't stress your crop as well.
Yes.
So, Ongeri, you have an activity that I'm really looking forward to, and that is harvesting. But before that, at what point does a farmer break even? We have seen the cost of production. You've taken us from the first greenhouses. You've brought us here where we have our crop that is already going to the market. Now, how is the market currently? Even now, how is the market, the cucumber market?
Yeah, Susan, you realize that our cucumber market is all over.
Yeah.
We are eating it locally at home.
Yeah.
It's being exported. You know, when we started with other crops, I can't mention them here, you could find that only few people are giving us the market. But this one is really developing into our daily meal on every day. So what I'm trying to say is that the market is wide and it's huge, because locally it's being sold in local market. If you go to supermarkets, the market is huge. You can also do the export of the cucumber. So by now, as we speak, the market for our cucumber is huge. We have not done even half of this. The only challenge farmers should know is that sometimes farmers wake up when they hear of the prices, and all of them do this kind of farming. Then when the prices go down, some farmers shy away, and after a while, the prices go up. So a farmer should be consistent in the market, such that when prices go low, you are there. When prices go high, you are there. You should be a constant farmer. Those who hit and run do not make good farmers. They only bring challenges which do not stay. So farmers should know that this is one of the best crop whose cost effective is affordable. In fact, 10 shillings per kg. If you look at my cucumber going up, you expect more than 10 kg per plant, because only 3 to 4 fruits make a kg. Yeah. So going up there is more, and then after some time we'll be bringing it down to restart the crop again. Okay. So when we usually harvest twice a week.
Okay.
We usually harvest twice a week. So, and we can harvest up to 6 months.
Wow.
If well managed and taken care of. But when it comes to the 3rd month, you would have broken your even.
And that is in the first production. So the first season you can you can recoup your money back.
You can recoup your money from the greenhouse cost, from the cost of farming and everything. You can get it in the first season. Let's call it the first season. But the first profit is gotten from the 3rd month's harvest.
Awesome.
Yes.
So can we harvest now?
Yes, we can.